So I bought a TV, and I just tell you about the experience, because things like this are just what you have to come to expect. How business is done over here in the Philippines, and you just have to embrace it, and you just have to go with it. So I have mine on this one TV, and it's a 55-inch 4K. It was like 50,000 pesos, which is like $1,000, but for 15 days they had 20,000 off. So it was like 30,000. It was $600. I didn't really need this big of a TV, but when comparing all the best bargains, because how many times you buy a TV in your life? I probably won't buy another TV ever until I die, unless there's some breaks. So I bought a 55-inch LG 4K, nice TV. But I took my time on researching it, and I looked at a lot of U.S. websites. I looked at Best Buy reviews in the U.S., and people gave it high reviews. And basically, I think one guy called it the poor man's OLED. But anyhow, my research, it's a good TV. I think I got a fair deal on it. So when I finally decided to pull the trigger, it was the 15th, which that was the last day of the sale. And then it goes back up to like 52,000. So go to SM, ready to pull the trigger on this. And just for, good measure, I looked around. I looked at a couple more TVs. I'm like, nope, that's what I want right there. Boom, pull the trigger on it. Okay, sir. Goes to the back, comes back out. Oh, sorry, this model is not available. And if you live here and you've been here, you know that those terms, those two words, not available. A lot of times I hear that, on almost like a daily basis. Whether you're at a restaurant, you're shopping, you hear those words a lot. Oh, sorry, sir, not available. So I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Can I go ahead and pay for it and then get the sale price? And oh yeah, you can pay for it, get the sale price, and we'll have one shipped to the store. It'll probably be around Christmas. Okay, I pay for it, do the paperwork, hold on to this receipt, and we'll text you when it comes in. We'll text you when it comes in. 600 pesos, which is $12 US, delivery fee, they'll deliver it in the truck. Okay, cool. I knew right then I was never gonna get a text. Never. I wasn't gonna get a call, I wasn't gonna get a text. But I had other things going on, we moved, so I didn't go up there and hound them. I waited till, last Sunday, a good week later. And I said, all right, now it's time to go check on the TV. Walk into the store, sure enough, behind the counter, I can see the storeroom. It's sitting right there. Probably been sitting there all week. Nobody gave me a call, nobody gave me a text. That's just the way business is done a lot of times, a lot of places here in the Philippines. And you can't get mad at anybody and say, hey, you were supposed to text me. Nobody has any load. Nobody's going to use their own phone to text you and use a text off of their phone. So I'm like, all right, whatever. That's fine. So then it takes me like an hour once I give them the receipt to process the paperwork. I told them where I wanted it delivered. And, it's like an hour process. Just have a seat, wait for an hour. Again, you just have to exercise patience. I'm like, why do I need to wait an hour? I just wrote the delivery address. Here's 600 pesos. Why am I waiting? Well, you're waiting for them to process the paperwork and then sign 2 or 3 pieces of paper. So I just browsed the store, Finally, it's done. Okay, it'll be delivered today. I'm like, all right, that's great. No time frame. All right, I'll go straight home. So later that night, the gentleman called, gave him a little bit better directions. They got here. and it was like Mo, Larry, and Curly come bringing this TV up the stairs. And then they say, "Oh, sir, do you want us to set it up, and install the, the little, the stand, the two little legs for the stand?" I knew better, but I said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, gentlemen." So the three Stooges go to work, taking this big ass brand new TV out of the box. They take it out of the box, and the first thing they do is flip it over and set it down with the screen on the cardboard box, the dirty ass, scratchy ass cardboard box. And I'm sitting there looking at it like I haven't even got to see this son of a bitch, and you guys are scratching up the screen. I mean, maybe not the cardboard itself, but there's goddamn dirt and debris on the screen. They just plop it down on there. Start opening up the bags, and then ask Faye if she has a screwdriver. Now look, these aren't three kuyas I just recruited off the street and said, "Hey, can you set up this TV?" These three Stooges, they're delivery drivers. This is what they do every day of their life, for a living, is deliver TVs and appliances and set shit up like this, little minor setup. What's the one piece of equipment that most, when you got to put a stand on or put a couple little things on there, the one piece of equipment usually is what? It's a Phillips head screwdriver. All the screws are Phillips head. So I would say, hell, probably 90% of what they deliver, they could install if they had a fucking Phillips head screwdriver. Not one of the three Stooges, Mo, Curly, or Larry, had a fucking Phillips head screwdriver. Now, I think anywhere else in the world that would be perplexing, but here you just can't be surprised about it. You can't be surprised that the company entrusts them with the big ass box truck and all this electronics equipment that they're delivering every day, but they won't issue them a basic fucking toolbox. That's just some of the frustrations about living in the Philippines. And to contrast it, in Thailand, they're gonna show up with a damn toolbox. Now, they may ask you to borrow a ladder if they need a ladder, but they're gonna show up with a fucking screwdriver. Here, no, three delivery drivers do this every day of their life. They don't have a fucking Phillips head screwdriver. So Faye has to go down, rustle up a screwdriver. She comes back, and with the TV laying on its side, they go to work installing these things. And basically you put them on there, click them into place, and you put two screws. Too simple. They do what they're gonna do. They set the TV up, plug it in. "Okay, sir, it's on. And here's your remote." "Okay, all right." Then they say, "Hey, what about us? It's Christmas." I mean, just like that, to ask you for money. Now look, I was gonna give the guys a tip because I don't mind tipping. They got it here the same day. They got it up the stairs. I don't mind tipping a little bit, but it catches you off guard when people just come at you that quick about asking you for money, and it's something you have to get used to. If you're gonna live in the Philippines, and you may disagree with me, but that's my personal experience, and I'm just telling you what happened. So yeah, I shot them, some money. "Merry Christmas to you, thanks for bringing it." Boom, they're out of here. I come back up and I look at this TV, and I'm looking at these legs, and I told them when they were installing it, I said, "Hey, fellas, that doesn't look right. It doesn't look like you have the legs on the right way." So I take the TV and I kind of go like that with it, and all you hear is like plastic, like grating on the bottom. And I'm like, these what, did they break it? They already broke the damn thing? And I'm looking at it and it's swaying so bad, and I'm like, there's no fucking way LG makes a TV this shitty. There's just no fucking way. So I told Faye, I said, "Hey, give me the foam." We popped it on the top, flipped it over. These things are like jiggling, because they had only put the screws in about halfway and they didn't lock the thing in place. So I just tipped these bastards, you know, to basically scratch my fucking screen up probably, and to do a fucking half-ass job that when they left, it's a wonder the fucking TV just didn't do the old leaning Pisa and just keep going into the floor. And when they asked me that, I knew, don't, just do it yourself. You know, just fucking do it yourself. Don't let them do it. So I take the things off, start from scratch, and put them on there. You just, a little bit of quarter turn, it locks this little piece in place, and you put the screws on there. And it's stable, it's fine. We flip it back over there, now it's not doing the leaning tower of Pisa. You know, and I look at Faye and I'm like, can you believe these motherfuckers? And Faye, this is her words, not mine. She says, you know the Pinoy, sir. That's what she said. And I said, you know, I think it's because, like, you know, my grandfather and my dad, they taught me, you know, like attention to detail. And if you're gonna do some fucking work, do it right. Don't do it half-ass. Don't do a half-ass job. And I think it's that you know, guys like this, they just never had their grandfather sit them down and teach them about craftsmanship and about doing shit right. I mean, who the fuck does this? Who the fuck puts 2 legs on there and screws the screws in halfway, sets it up there with it doing this and says, okay, now can we get a tip? It perplexes me. And, you know, I was just talking to Faye about it, and I said, you know, my little boy in there making all that noise, he's not gonna learn to do things like that. If you're gonna fucking do a job, do it right the first time. You know, and don't be cutting corners and doing shitty fucking work. That goddamn TV could have tumbled down into the floor and broke, you know, the minute they walked down the stairs, and I would have ate that shit. You think they're gonna fucking, you think they're gonna cover the cost if that thing had tumbled off the fucking table? No. This guy would have covered the fucking costs. You know, for letting the fucking 3 Stooges do a shitty fucking job, which I know better. Anyhow, so we do got a new TV. You know, Forrest G can watch his ABC songs. Even Maria's watching the ABC songs now, because before they would just fight over the iPad, you know. So we're enjoying the new TV, folks. And you know, one of the reasons that I wanted to get it, because I've never seen any of my footage on a 4K TV before. You know, I work on an iPad or a laptop. The laptop's really the biggest screen I've ever seen any of my footage. And so when we pulled up, like, just this last little walking tour that I shot on this GoPro, and you know, I mean, I got this got this badass camera in the background, but I'm sitting here just holding this GoPro because it's simple, the audio is pretty good. So we looked at that footage and I was like, damn, that damn GoPro does pretty good. First time I've seen it on a 4K TV. And we were both like, well, that's pretty good quality, you know, it's very clear in the background. So we were quite impressed with what the GoPro footage looks like on our new LG 55-inch 4G, not 4G, 4K. Yeah, 4K TV. This is the first smart TV I've ever had. So it's got one of those magic remotes. The thing is like fucking magic. So we're certainly enjoying it. So are the kids. I think the crew's in there right now watching Jack and the Beanstalk. But yeah, so we got a new TV. That was my experience in purchasing this thing. And I guess the learning lesson would be that if you order anything like that here in the Philippines and they deliver it, put that shit together yourself. Do yourself a favor, put it together yourself, and get it done right. Because they almost cost me $600. I mean, literally that thing was just leaning and it was just holding on by the, like, you know, 2 or 3 little threads, 2 or 3 turns, just the threads barely up in there. Almost lost $600 letting these fucking shitheads, these knuckleheads, you know, put the thing together. Total of 4 fucking screws. Alright folks, that's my little experience about getting a TV, buying a new TV here in the Philippines. And I don't know, just thought I'd share that with you. I guess that's all I gotta say. Yeah, anyhow, there's no use in even mentioning the store where I got it. Whatever. Because I don't think it would fucking matter. I'm just perplexed. You do this every day and nobody had a Phillips fucking screwdriver. Wow. Okay, folks, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Thanks for listening.